Hey everybody, so if you like The Tiger King, I think you're going to enjoy this new show on Max or HBO if you have that. It's called Chimp Crazy. The first two episodes are out now, and it starts out where you think you're going to get a show just about chimps and the people that like chimps and all that. And that's kind of how it starts. Starts talking about this lady named Connie who grew up in the circus, and she always had chimps. She loved chimps, and she made this chimp sanctuary. Well, as the years went on of her chimp sanctuary, things got a little bit dilapidated, and PETA, those bastards, wanted to take her chimps away. But not necessarily. They wanted to have her update the place to have it resemble more of their natural habitat. And during the lawsuit from PETA, this lady Tanya comes into play. And Tanya loves these chimps. I gotta say that the difference between Tiger King and Chimp Crazy is the people that have these monkeys or apes, they genuinely love their animals. That doesn't mean that they should have them or that they're taking good care of them, because as you'll find out, they're really not. So you find out that this lady Connie, she had chimps her whole life, loved chimps. Peter's trying to take them away. So Tanya, her Barbie doll friend, gets it in her head, sign the chimps over to me. I'll be able to divert the lawsuit so that they can't take the chimps away. So while this is happening, she's taking care of the chimps on a very, very healthy diet of, chicken nuggets and Powerade. Powerade is definitely, apparently, a chimp's favorite. So they're clearly not eating the way that they should. Damn, this mask is fucking hot as shit. But she is really trying to take care of these chimps. And I will at least say that. She does seem to care. However, if she really cared about them, she'd probably do a better job of getting them a better place to be. The main chimp that they talk about, though, is a chimp named Tonka. If you've seen the movie Babe, and there was some other movie that he was in, he's actually a fairly famous chimp. He worked with an actor named Alan Cummings, who is a spokesperson for PETA now. Generally speaking, I don't always agree with PETA, but I will say in this case, I kind of do. I'm a very big person on, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't care what you're doing. However, a chimp is not a chihuahua. Chihuahuas are vicious little ankle biters, but if a pack of chihuahuas is coming after me, I'm okay. I'm not really worried about it. If one single chimp is coming to me, I am fucked. And that leads us into episode 2. Episode 2 starts off with talking about a chimp named Travis. Now, I remember this when I was a kid. I remember hearing about it. A 911 call comes in, and this woman's going frantic. Oh, no, he's killing my friend. And they're like, what are you talking about? This chimp, after being there for years, I think he was like 6 or 7 years old, he went nuts. And he ripped off a lady's face, like ripped off the fucking face and started eating her. Somehow she survived, which is the craziest thing. So each episode talks about different chimp people, but the main story is following Tanya and Tonka. PETA is able to seize all of the chimps and send them to a wildlife refuge, which is actually a really nice place that PETA gets them sent to. So I'll actually give PETA props on that, which I generally won't. Except one of the chimps is missing, and that's Tonka. What Tanya says happened is she said Tonka had an enlarged heart, he was very sick, and he passed away. And the whole episode, you're like, where the fuck is Tonka? The story that she gave didn't make any sense. She had her husband fill out a thing saying that he cremated Tonka at 160 to 170 degrees. And I can tell you what, I'm from the Northeast. We had a lot of bonfires. Those fuckers were big, those fuckers were hot, and there's no way you're cremating a body on just a bonfire. And this guy's saying 160 to 170 degrees. I wouldn't even eat chicken at 160 degrees. My chicken's got to be poultry safety guidelines is 165 degrees. So you're not burning something to ash at 160 to 170 degrees, no matter how long you're leaving it in there. Did I mention this mask is hot? It's very hot. So PETA ends up getting a message sent them from a psychic that Tanya goes to that said, hold on, I need to get some groceries for Tonka. And you're like, wait a second, you said Tonka was dead. So they bring her to court, and during the court, she starts crying, oh my gosh, Tonka's gone. I can't believe you're doing this to me. And she said she got another monkey and named him Tonka. And ultimately, at the end of the court case, the judge pretty much says, I can't prove that Tonka isn't alive. I can't prove that he is alive, so I have to let this go. If you can get more proof that he is alive, we'll basically receive the thing. So Tanya, in all of her hubris, starts bragging like, yeah, we won. She calls up Connie and says, Connie, we won. They can't do anything. We won. And then she goes down the stairs into her basement, and who do you see? Fucking Tonka. This crazy bitch, for real, is hiding a 30-year-old chimpanzee in her basement. Now, the thing that I agree with PETA on as to why people shouldn't have these animals is when they're small, they're controllable. Once they hit about 4 or 5 years old, they become too big and too hard to handle. And so many of these people in these chimp videos, like, they're like my children. They always love me. No, they're not like your children. They're not like a dog, even a big dog that ends up being part of the family. The dog never thinks it's going to take over the family. The dog doesn't think of you as a potential mate. A chimp is very different because they always talk about how human-like they are, And in some ways they kind of are. But the problem is, once they hit puberty and they mature, they're going to look for a mate. They're not like other animals where you can just neuter them and you're fine, like a dog or a cat or something like that you can handle. No, these things are going to look for a mate. And in the case of Travis, the guy that ripped, the chimp that ripped the lady's face off, what happened with him was the guy that took care of him his whole life passed away. Once he passed away, Travis took over. Travis was the guy in charge. And he became the alpha of the troop, so to speak. And that's why a lot of these people end up sending their chimps to these refuges because they hit about 5 or 6 years old and they become unbelievably unruly. You cannot control a chimp. You should not have an animal that could literally fucking rip you in half. I'm not big on people saying what you can and can't do. However, if you have an animal that can, if it got out of your house, could rip me and my family apart in my sleep, that's a fucking problem. So I don't think things like chimps should be, a family pet. You see so many different times where these apes get out and they just hurt people. And I didn't even know that in the state of Missouri, it's pretty much legal to have whatever exotic animal you want, which is insane to me in general. I don't think you should own any invasive species. I have a snapping turtle, a common snapping turtle. They're all over the place in America. So I see nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's okay for me to go get a Galapagos tortoise and put it in my fucking house. Not just because they're endangered, but they're not from here. So, but episode 2 ends with her just going down and saying, "Hi, Donkas," showing the world that she has the ape because she thinks that she won a court case. Just because the judge said, hey, we can't prove it one way or the other. Well, guess what, folks? We can prove it. And I have a feeling going into episode 3 that PETA's going to find out. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, Chimp Crazy is Sundays on Max. And if you like Tiger King, I highly, highly recommend going and seeing it. That said, this fucking thing is too hot. Oh, I'm going to cut it there. Have a good one.